Well, hey y'all, welcome.
Hey again.
Welcome back. We are here for the second part of the Later Daters, episodes 5 through 8. So yeah, y'all, if you haven't already, you know what we're doing. You see them in the background, the Later Daters. Um, and you know the Silver Foxes. If you haven't already, please make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button for us.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it. And then we about to get shady and finish out this season one of the Later Daters. And did we mention that Michelle Obama is the executive producer? I just had to put a little respect on her name, okay? Just a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, let's get into it and let's get shady. All right, y'all. So we jumping back in. We are on episode 5, which is Dwana knows, okay, which is we know is Anissa's daughter, okay. So we start off episode 5. Suzanne realized that things are moving too fast with Avery, and it needs to slow down. Now, the reason she realized this is because Avery had her up in the kitchen, over by the stove. He was trying to put her on the counter by the buttered rolls, okay. He said, nah. She hit her with the Bobby. Slow down. She wanted him to slow down a little bit. Okay.
Oh, when you said Bobby, I thought you was about to say Brown. You went
No.
Valentino.
Yeah, I mean Valentino. I'm sorry. So now we see Nate, which we know is up here in the corner with the beard. Okay, he's preparing for his 4th date. Now, if y'all go back to the last episodes 1 through 4, Nate, like I said, is we've realized he's a maximizer. He gonna get all his dates. It's giving real Atlanta. He gonna play the field. Okay. So they finally asked why he and Jackie aren't together because we know Jackie is the ex baby mama, or not ex baby mama, but she's the mother of his child, and they're still very close and they're friends and they're very comfortable, but it gives a little weird to the point where I'm not mad. I'm so happy production addressed the elephant in the room. Okay. So
Right.
they admit that they both considered it. Okay. And she said when they first met, she was looking for a hookup, and that's what she got. She said they both realized they're not compatible with each other. Okay, so they say. So he tells her when he met Lisa, his knee popped, and that almost messed up the moment, is what it gave me because he saw her, he went to stand up, and then it went pop, pop, pop. And then he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just stand right here and wait for her. You know what I mean? Let her walk to me. Okay. He said his date with Anissa was more serious. He brings up Lisa's kids, still living with her.
Can he even do anything?
You are not the only person that has asked that question. But anyway, so basically, and again, that's what I'm saying. At this point in life, I'm not gonna say we're all breaking down. Some people may be in great shape, but others, everybody has an ailment or something or whatever the case may be. And so what you could do at 20 and 30 is not what you can do. And so that's why I was like, I just thought this would be easier dating because you really have to accept them for who they are. Because at this point, it can, when they say grow old with some, growing old is I'm accepting you and all the that's going to come with your elderliness. And that ain't, you may lose your vision, can't never find your glasses,
Your
don't know
stuff
where
no
don't know
more.
where your car keys are, might, you know what I mean, things like that, just
Can't
being
move. I
right,
mean,
just
you
being
standing up
old and
and your
ornery.
knee and your legs is popping. You got disabilities and stuff. I mean, you probably can't do nothing.
I don't know, child, but anyway, um, so they realized that you know it wasn't it for them, but he brings up Lisa's kids, and so he said that you know, that's an issue for him. He wants to keep an empty nest, which gives me he don't even. I told Nels when
Well,
I
we've
watched
been
this,
for all the time anyway.
he gives me the vibe that he would be great in a relationship as long as a woman didn't try to move in with him. He gives me the vibe.
told Michelle, well, that's gonna be you gonna be doing it at your house. That's at your
Right.
house.
So now we're gonna get into his he's paired with Michelle, who's
I
55,
like
looks Michelle looked very good. She's been divorced twice. She's single. She's been single for 8 years and she got 3 kids. She's also an actress. So Logan thinks that and I said this, he's a maximizer, he's looking for perfection. He likes what he sees in Michelle. And so she asked why he's single. He says it's because he hasn't met his match yet. Okay. Michelle thinks that he's a nice guy.
you
And she
quoted
likes
Girl Trip.
right. And she likes black men with bald heads. So she is also an army vet. So they have that in common. So I was like, okay, that's cute. They both enjoy football. Their teams are rivals, which again, that's why I said you could be rivals and they could still be cute. You don't write nobody off. Like, if anything, just the fact that the person would sit and want to watch the game with you is a plus because you know they like the same thing. We ain't gotta like the same team to like the same thing.
Mhm.
So she asks if he dances and he tells her about his injuries. So we see him being vulnerable again. But they're able to joke about it.
Not
He
in the
then
bedroom. You can't dance. Like, I mean, sir,
when you know that was it for me. When he said he
this,
couldn't dance,
this
I
checklist that you got needs to
again
burn. You need to burn it.
what?
His checklist.
Oh, well, girl, he then asked her for a selfie. Then they asked Michelle if
And
there's
on the
potential.
dance floor or in the bedroom. Child, bye.
We don't know that for sure. That's alleged.
Chris,
So then they asked Michelle if there's potential, and she said it's too soon to tell, but she would go on a second date with him. And so then we see Dwana, forgive me again.
Annie's daughter.
Yeah, niece's daughter. She's going through the dating options, and she finds her a nice little silver fox for her mama. And yes, she did. Okay. Um,
This man. Woo.
and so
Big
And so
Willie.
we see Anise going on a date with the guy her daughter picked, who is Willie. He's 55. He's been
Big
divorced
Willie.
twice. Big Willie. He's been single for 7 years and he got 5 kids. And I understand why. I understand why, child.
Yeah.
As look, as much as I hate labor, if that nigga was on the side of the bed with my legs propped up in the air, I keep busting them out and busting it open. Lord Jesus.
He gonna have some chocolate babies.
Okay. He's also a government canine specialist. Anise is immediately enamored by Willie, as we all are.
Oh,
Okay.
Lord.
She says she felt a rush. So did I, girl. Willie said Anise takes her breath away. He does mine too. I love me a good zaddy. Okay.
Mhm.
And so they're both looking into each other's eyes and feeling the energy. And it was so cute. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. I guess because I'm that type of person. And when you feel energy and when you meet somebody, and maybe that's why I can move so quickly. Because if the energy is like that, it doesn't mean nothing to me to like boom, 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 boom. Because the energy is there. Like, yeah, let's go. We like each other. We're into each other. Where I never stop to pause until it's time to pause. And it's like, oh damn, well, how did we get? And by that time I'm sucked in, It's
And you
terrible.
was talking to us about what's her face?
Who?
The one that moved to Germany. She moving too fast.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from experience. I would never judge a bitch if I ain't been through it. I'm telling you from an older woman, girl. I'm giving you some good advice.
I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah. Bitch, I've been there, done that.
Oh,
I've been around the world and ay.
You a fool.
So anyway, so Lori tells Kennedy about her date and tells her about the foot fetish. She had an issue with the white t-shirt, as we all know. She says he wanted to go out with her on her birthday weekend, but she didn't know what she had going on and she wouldn't let him. And so basically she hasn't heard anything since. However, she doesn't plan to chase. So Logan talks to her kids to get their opinion on what's going on with their mom. And they say that their mother won't give people a chance. And I can see that. And so then she talks about her date with Ty, and she said that he texted her after the date to make sure she made it safe. But then things fizzled. She also doesn't want to play Bob the Builder with a man, um, which I can understand. And Lori says she's just not feeling him. But then she brings up this guy Felton, that she has a crush on. She thinks she's in the friend zone, as we all talked about. Doesn't want to chase him for another date. Logan tells her,
Girl, all of us would be in the friend zone.
and so basically, Lori tells her, "You're doing too much. I need you to not talk for 5 minutes. Okay, just 5 minutes. Be quiet." And for let me tell you, for somebody that talks the way I do, that is hard. Hard. Okay. Um, so Logan asked about, how they feel when she interrupts them, and her son says he doesn't like it, and her daughter says she felt she lost her voice because her mother always spoke for her. And I said, damn. So Logan points out that she's probably doing the same thing that she does with her kids, with her dates. And so I did like this part of it. Like, let's break down what are your issues, right? I'm just sad she couldn't make Nate see his issues, but um, and so she basically tells her that she feels more like an airport and not like home.
When she said that,
I said, man, that's I like that. You're so busy, busy. Yeah.
I said, Logan. Mm, 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 mm. I said, all right, you out here giving a word.
Okay. Um, and so Lori says that she's really concerned about getting her heart broken. She shows her a picture of Felton, and Logan says she's putting herself, we said that, not him. And Lori says she's still trying to figure Felton out and gives him a call on FaceTime. And so I think we see the call later on um in the episode or next episode. But we talked about Nate's date with Michelle, correct? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then we go to talk. Logan goes by to see Suzanne and figure out where her head's at. She claims the first guy was cool, but it's the little kids for her. But then she mentions that Avery also has a young child. So what is it, Suzanne? What is it? And then she also brings up him being an Alabama fan. Bless you.
Thank you.
Logan tries to stress the differences between deal breakers and pet peeves. I thought this was important as well. Um, and she admits as a widow, she feels like a reject. She thinks what what help. Basically, she feels like what can help is if she goes on another date, right? So Suzanne said that she felt she dove into Avery too quickly, and she's more into season and reason versus smothered and covered. I said, that's my bitch. That's my bitch, Suzanne. I player from the Himalaya. I love Suzanne. And so she want to pump her brakes. When I tell you, Nails can tell you, I swear to God, Suzanne and me, boy, we would tear these old me, Suzanne and Pam would tear these old streets up, bitch. Pam got the tour. I be girl, we be out going to Johnny's
Oh,
or
okay.
where.
Y'all would be using Pam. It's basically what you're saying. That's what you're
You're
saying.
so funny. So then speaking of Pam, great job, Nels. Great segue. So Pam is going on her third first date with Dwight. He's 70, he's a black man, never married. He had but he got one child, and he's a tour director. So Pam likes that he's tall, and he's also brought her flowers. She's been to the place that they're at before and says that the last time she was there was Cougar night. Okay. So Dwight says he doesn't have a list. He just likes to experience the person. And so Dwight said that he grew up in New York, and he said he was a Virgo. So Dwight said he grew up in New York,
The
and
men,
they were, huh?
the men are totally different.
Oh, you're funny. Um, and they reminisce on the good old days of New York, I guess. Dwight says that he has, lets her know he have a own tour company in Atlanta. Pam tells him she wants to work for him, and he wants to be clear on whether she wants to be like business partners or work from her, or trying to do something here. And but Dwight says he liked that, and Pam brought personality. They exchanged numbers, and they seem to both like each other.
I like that. So that she was a flight attendant before a private jet company.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, okay, that's what we give in. I said, okay, Pam. She's like, no, not your average flight attendant.
Right.
Okay.
She said private jet.
Yes.
All right. So then we get into episode 6, Shiver Me Tenders, which I absolutely love. So we know that Anise has went on our date with Willie. She loves that he's 6'3".
We all
He
do.
right. He takes the jacket off and
I
he's just
ain't got a picture of him up here.
looking at her. I don't know. Maybe that would be a distraction. I understand. Willie is originally from Chicago. They talk about their love for travel. They
That's how
both seem to
you don't
be
get me that.
adventurous.
I ain't realize he's from Chicago. That's how Chicago. What?
Shut down. Can I
What?
get down?
Hold up.
Child.
What? Shira?
I dodged 1 or 2 for you, boo.
Right? Chase, look him.
Um, so then he asked her on another date because he wants to spend even more time with her and they exchange numbers. And when I just tell you, I get it. I felt the energy through the screen, maybe because I was feeling it for him and it wasn't, but it was, I get it. I get it. It was like, there, we definitely gonna do this again. We had a great time. Anise links up with her daughter and to tell her about the date, and she tells her, how Willie gave her the shivers. And Anise tries to play naive, like she don't know what Big Willie meant. This was a whole conversation. And she was like, no, I had no idea. And this is when I really thought
No,
it was because I
initially,
really think she didn't know.
no, initially I didn't think she knew until she started saying things like something in my mouth or something like that. I was like, I don't believe you anymore. Initially, I thought she didn't know. Then I was
But
like,
right.
it's
And
book.
right. And the daughter is telling her, I think you should reach out to him to see what's next. And she's like, no, he said he wanted to be the man and he wants to take the lead. And I love that. And so that's what she says she's going to fall back and wait to hear from him. And I said, okay, being demure, cutesy, mindful. Okay. So then now this is one thing I can say. I don't know what it is about Willie, but I can honestly see why it was easy for her to fall into her soft girl. That nigga just make you melt. Just melt. You're just like, yes. Yes, Big Willie.
Look, Trace, whatever you like.
Whatever you like. Anyway, so Nate tells Jackie about his date with Michelle and how he, forgot to bring the flowers. He likes how she was quick on her toes and had a sense of humor, but he admits his date was with Michelle was different than previous, but he's still not sure if she's it. This is what I'm saying. Then we meet this guy up here in the middle between me and Nels with the white beard and the white hair. I
Oh,
guess you can call him a white and silver fox. But this is Greg. He's
this
61.
is
He's
why. So maybe they're all silver foxes, but it's hard to tell. Well, you can tell with Greg. I
right.
mean, they put the silver, I guess.
But so we learned that Greg is
Contrast. I need the contrast.
you're so funny. Greg is 61. He's divorced. He owns his own bless you construction business. He thinks he's the whole package. He's very close to his sons. And they're helping him navigate, getting back into the dating world. He says love is important to him and he loves the challenges of dating. He says he's looking for someone that's big on family and is big on faith. Logan comes to get, the backstory on Greg, and he reveals that his son Brian, which we see is because he talks through a computer. But basically, he was born with cerebral palsy, and I guess his whole marriage was kind of dedicated to, taking care of his son and figuring out the best way to. All their attention went to him, basically. And so in that, the marriage suffered. And so then he ended up getting remarried again, and had a blended family with 7 kids, which was stressful on the marriage again. And so, Logan tries to get him to be open to whatever the person he's set up with comes with, basically, because he seems like he has a strict. And I think I was telling Nels, I ain't even gonna hold you. I kind of think that Greg kind of liked Logan a little bit. and he was like low key wanting her because he was like, oh, I want somebody young and I want somebody like this. And I don't know. And just the way he only listened to her, but then he would go on a date and completely bomb it for the most part. Um, it just made me think he was more
Until he figured out that she ain't want his ass.
right.
Then he
But
tried to spin the block and it ain't worked
yeah,
out.
I think that he was more into her than any of his dates. But no, I mean maybe he learned something about himself. But he set up with Kelly, who is 59. She's divorced. She's been single for 11 years. She got 4 kids. And she's a dental hygienist. Now, don't get me wrong. I guess Kelly looked good for 59 for YT people, but she didn't give for me. She looked like I think Suzanne looked better than Kelly, but anyway, he jumps
To me, Susanna's a baddie.
right. That's what I'm saying. Kelly
Well,
was
when you say she looked better than her, like you making it seem like
oh Suzanne don't look good. No, but Suzanne's
yeah.
older. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So he jumps right in and asks about her children. He thinks that she's very pretty. They plan to go water skiing on their date, and she's from a family of water skiers, and apparently has competed, which I think is a lot to be on six. God bless y'all. So Greg takes. I won't do that in my 30s, but maybe I'll get adventurous in my later life, if God willing.
It's too much in the water.
So Greg takes a chance and tries, but it's not very graceful. He finally gets some help and he gets the hang of it. And Kelly says she likes him and thinks he's handsome, but says that she's gonna allow Greg to court her. And so then we see Lori go on her date with Martin, who is 55. He has never been married. He has 3 kids and is the owner of an HVAC company. Now they go on a candle making date, which is always cute. Lori has apparently met him before as well.
Because he
They
goes to
both
church, right?
yeah, they go to the same church. That to me would have been like, you again, don't make me think Jesus is trying to hook us up because then it's a real problem. You know what I mean? Don't
That
make
would be
me
funny for Latricia.
right. So she says she's open to dating a man from her church. Martin observes that Lori is very particular. And so she asks about his history, why he's never been married, but has 3 kids and he has 3 kids and 6 grands. And when she asks where he's where he's at in his life, that's when Nels was like, I'm here, aren't I?
And she was just like,
And then he said,
it was giving, why am I here?
right. And so he says that he's let his mother move in and he plans on becoming an ordained deacon. And she doesn't know
I
how she
always, I always get like iffy when with that. I moved my mama in.
because are you taking her social security check to help you pay your
Are you sure that you moved her in?
or
You take
did you move
and
in?
to me that's the equivalent of having a teenager or having a child at home.
Yeah, that's true. Um, so she tells him about the birthday party and he wants to attend, and she kind of pauses. You can see she was hesitant, and that would have I ain't gonna hold you in that moment. That would have been me. Where
She put
Chanel would have just said no, like flat out, and not gave a damn how you felt. I would have felt so bad. I wouldn't have known what to say. You wouldn't have gave a damn. You would have been like, oh no, no, that's not no. Whereas me, I would have been
I
like, I
wouldn't
would
have
have
just said no. I would have been like, oh, unfortunately, we're at capacity or something. I would have made up something.
no, I definitely would have part like I would have felt bad. I would have thought I had to invite them. Like I would have definitely so I understood.
Oh no, especially if I thought somebody that I liked was coming, I'm definitely not gonna let you come. I mean, he turned out not coming, but I'm definitely no. And then you came in talking about some like where my girl at it. No, I'm definitely not gonna invite. No, unfortunately, we're at capacity, it's an invite only type of thing and we're at capacity. Simple.
Well,
It's a soft
so
no. I'd give a soft no.
you're so funny. So she reluctantly invites him to the birthday party, and he says that he can sense that she's a lot of fun. So Lori calls Logan afterwards and asks her if she remembered what she said about being home instead of the airport. And she admits she was the airport at first, because she wanted to quiz him, but she eventually kind of settled down. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got from that. Then we see Pam discussing her date with Dwight and how they really connected, being in the hospitality world. I think she was talking to Zoe at this point. She likes him, thinks he's a good person. She hasn't spoken to him, but plans to reach out to him. And she knows that even if they don't work out, they'll be good friends and he can show her around Atlanta. And Zoe, her granddaughter, is just very proud of her because obviously her grandmother has made strides and at least got about the house.
Ooh, Pam was overwhelming for me.
She was overwhelming for you?
Yeah.
Pam had a little flair. I like her. She had a little hippie.
No, I think Suzanne had a flair. Pam needs a Xanax.
Stop.
She was a lot.
So Suzanne is matched up with Jack, who thinks he's a silver fox. He's been divorced twice. He's single for 10 years and has 3 kids. He's also a director in the automotive industry. She thinks he's a little closed off at first and, kind of needs to loosen up, but she loves the hair. All there for the hair. Okay. And I don't think we have a picture of Jack up here. No, Jack didn't make the cut.
This picture of Greg right here is not a bad picture.
No, it's not. It's not. And so basically, then we learn she talks about spending time in Charleston, and he mentions he's a Georgia Bulldogs fan. So already he's checked that box.
I was like, oh, here we go. This is it.
Right. They talk about her work as an optometrist. They both have a love for Italy. Check. They're well traveled and cultured. They talk about hiking a mountain, and they're already making plans for the second date to hike the mountain. Check. He said he likes Suzanne's class and sophistication, and her daughter Allison comes to pick her up. And then they notice that they have like matching tattoos or whatever. And then we realize because it's the father's thumbprint, but it's in the Georgia Bulldog.
It was like a
yeah. And so then we get into episode 7, y'all. Take that in, okay? So we see Anise, right? She gets a call from Willie on FaceTime, and I'm grinning because I feel like it just.
Wait, whoa. Can I say? Oh no, this one is when he just randomly called her on FaceTime. That's giving you my girl. I'm your man. Like,
you are stupid.
It's giving that aggression. It's giving that.
You're stupid. I can't. So she asked him if he took her calling him Big Willie the wrong way, because she hasn't, she just
I think it's the way it was meant for real.
Right. And they're both smiling from ear to ear while they're conversing. So am I. I'm living vicariously through them. Okay. So then he even blows her a kiss before getting off the phone, and I'm over here. I'm over here watching TV trying to catch it.
Girl, you months late.
And then and look, she said her cheeks were hurting from smiling so much. I said, bitch, so am I. So Logan goes to visit Anise and learn about her day with Willie. She talks about the immediate fireworks because that's what it was. I can't deny that. She's hopeful Willie isn't an F-boy, is what I got from that. And she tells her that they have a second date plan. And Dewana confirms that she's been a giddy schoolgirl since her date. And I said, so have I.
Child, I get it.
Anise gets emotional by finally embracing herself for whom she is at 62. I love that. And she's excited about her next date with Willie. They go hiking through the woods, and she asks if he's open to change, and they both agree that they like to embrace change. And they stop for a moment and share chocolate strawberries. And then Anise just talks about how, she's enjoying being able to be vulnerable. And we see her be real vulnerable, all wrapped up in Willie's arms and body, yada, yada. It was a great moment.
They knew damn well they shouldn't have had this fine man on TV.
They shouldn't. She's a good one. She's a good one. I wouldn't have done it. He would have had to put on a fat suit and come on TV. So Suzanne goes to talk to her kids about her different dates, and she says that although she likes Jeff, Avery fits her personality better, and Jeff is the complete opposite. So Suzanne calls up somebody random at the time. We don't know who it is, but it ends up being Jeff, and she's gonna invite him up for a boat cruise. Suzanne says that she's been selective, but she doesn't want to waste her time. So she takes him out on a boat for a sunset cruise. And she realizes, although she thought she wanted a big personality, she likes Jeff's calm personality. And she says she's ready to love. That's what she said.
Not
Until she did.
theme
Until she
song
did.
for Ready to Love.
But then she switched up so quick though.
Right.
Um,
Who is that giving?
and giving what it gives. I'm just saying, gives what it gives.
I changed my mind.
I changed my mind. Um, Greg plans to go on another date and says that although he liked Kelly, the fact that she lives in Metro Atlanta is too much. So because the traffic is a deal breaker for him. So they set him up with Sherry, who's 60. She's been divorced 3 times. She's been single for 13 years and has 2 kids. And so he's intrigued by her smile and her appearance. They talk about their kids, and she shares that she's adopted 2 kids as a single mom.
Mm,
One was from Ethiopia, the other one was from, I want to say, India or something like that.
I don't think so.
But anyway, she
She
used
was
to live
giving Sir, I'm up here.
right. So they end up doing a whiskey tasting. I think he got too drunk too fast, is what I think happened. I mean, it's part of the problem. Just my because they went to do a whiskey tasting. Your body, I feel like when you do stuff like that, it needs to be when you know somebody, but like getting to know somebody, you don't want to get wasted too fast.
Or
So
you might want to
you're so funny.
bring out the
So
flag real quick.
you're so
Early.
funny. So he realizes she's a little shy and he's worried about over talking, which he does. She tells him she used to live in India and she sailed the coast. She's also been to South Africa and Turkey. Greg doesn't seem to be this exploratory because we know he got a situation in his son. And so he probably, has been limited as far as his travels. Sherry says that, she doesn't think Greg is her type and they've had different experiences in life, like I said. However, Greg would like to go out with her again. So
Bet you
Greg
would.
tells, huh?
I said, bet you would.
Right. So Greg tells Logan about his date with Sherry and says that he doesn't know if Sherry was really interested. But Logan suggests that he try online dating and she tries to help him normalize online dating. She goes through his online profile and makes some recommendations on what he can do better. And he said that he's regretful of writing Kelly off because of distance and didn't think about whether she'd be willing to move or not. He just wrote her off and said and so Logan asked if he's willing to see Kelly again, and he's like, I'm not sure. But he ended up reaching out to Kelly to
I love
apologize
I love this.
for writing her off so quickly. And Kelly lets him know that she's in the early stages of seeing someone else, and he's realized that he done around and found out.
I loved it. I loved
Boy, don't put me on no shelf. I am not an elf. Ain't nobody sitting up here waiting for you. Okay. The next thing come along, I'm going with Santa's sleigh, bitch. Okay. So Nate has Jackie and his daughter and his granddaughter over so that he can barbecue. And so his daughter Jasmine wants to know about the women he's been dating. He can't remember the name of the first date, which we
I don't
know was
remember a damn thing. You don't remember nothing.
he butchers Anissa's name, and then he goes into his date with Lisa and how she was inviting, but then he tells her about the date with Michelle, and she wants to know if he likes anyone, and he's still not sure. But he thinks he's finally made a decision, and he decides to reach out. And then we see Lori getting ready for a party. She says that Felton is playing in her face. So she's invited Martin to see, how he vibes. Martin shows up with flowers for the birthday girl and delivers the candles they made. She introduces him to her kids. Martin asks her how she would feel being in a more intimate setting. And she pauses and she really doesn't even pay attention to him. She was real disrespectful. She was real disrespectful. The kids notice that he might be too chill for their mother. And she might be too much for him. So he decides to finally leave after being ignored. And Lori says they don't have a connection, but her back and forth with Felton is easy. She gives, And no, it's so funny because her son said it. She wants to be the lion. That's her problem. She so much wants to be, and so she can't be the gazelle. That's why I think she liked the interaction with Felton more because I think she liked chasing him. But when it came to her, she didn't like it because that's too much like being a gazelle. That I'm not saying they were right for her, but I'm just saying it gives me the vibe that she's so busy chasing. That's what she likes. And he said that dominant personality.
She's chasing the wrong damn thing.
So we are on episode 8, which is one little aha moment. So Anise and Willie are having a moment in the woods. Okay. It was good. She says she couldn't stop smiling. I couldn't either, girl. Anise says that she's still a bit cautious, but thinks Willie can be her person. Anise and Willie seems to be coupled up. Okay. This is when I had to stop drooling over him. I said, oh, that's somebody, man. Um,
Girl, later in the episode, she went home to meet the mama.
yes, go ahead, Nels.
They definitely coupled up. They after 2 months. This is
yes.
2 months later.
I loved it. And yeah, and Willie says that she is his piece. I said, okay.
And then she said something. I don't remember the quote, but like, be a man's piece, and was it like he'll love you forever or something like that?
Or something like that. Be a man's piece. Look, you're gonna make me look it up because it was I've heard it before.
I've never heard it.
I have.
I said, look at this. I got a toast. I got a quote. All right, ladies.
Okay. Look, I can't find it right now. But anyway, so then we're gonna move on to we're going into Nate. He's decided he wants to go out with Michelle again. He feels like they're a little bit more aligned because his kids are grown and they've left home, and so have hers. She learns on their date that they learned on the date after they seem like to be having a good time that she's a pescatarian and he is allergic to seafood. And I said, this is what boyery gets you. So she asked if he told his kids about her, and he kind of laughs in her face. And basically,
but then he was like, yeah, of course he did.
Right. So he admits he talked to the kids. He told the kids that she's feisty, which she's a little shocked by. He shared that he discussed things that might be hindering him from meeting somebody. And then he talks about his need for order. And she says she's not a messy person, but she's also not militant, and asks if he'd be cool with that. And he says, yeah, at your house, you can do what you please. So she's like, well, she asks about, she likes to have multiple outfit options. And, if I have things like laying around, would that be a problem? And he says, no, you should hang your stuff up and put it away. I ain't gonna hold you. That's when I was like, that's me. That's me. Once you're done, and but I don't feel like it has to be immediate.
No.
But yes, I will put out multiple outfits, and then I'm like, this is my one, but I don't feel like I need to hang everything up after.
Yeah, he means like if you're about to go out and you have multiple outfits out, you pick your outfit, you put them all back, because he doesn't want to come home to that.
Well, Jackie comes by to get the scoop.
He called it chaos. He's like, I don't want to come home to that chaos.
So Jackie comes by to get the scoop on Nate's second date with Michelle. He says Michelle doesn't mind a cluttered home, and that gave him pause. Okay. He realizes that these women
he was extra with it. She don't mind a cluttered home. I was like,
he realizes that these women are ready to be chosen. He said he reached out to Lisa after realizing things weren't going to work with Michelle, because again, he's maximizing, or he thought he was, but she's already in another relationship.
Period.
Boop. Bookie.
I just loved it. I loved that.
I love that for you, Lisa.
Exactly.
He says he learned a lot about himself during the process and making himself vulnerable. Good. I'm glad you learned something. So Suzanne gets a visit from Logan, and she tells her about the first date with Jeff. She tells her then about the second date, and Logan talks about how Suzanne is crushing her dates and everyone wants her pudding. Okay. She said a milkshake, bitch, my pudding.
Exactly.
My pudding, my pudding, my pudding, not my pudding. Okay, anyway. So she said there's someone she's ready to start a relationship with. Then we realized that someone is Avery. Okay, Suzanne said that although she had fun with Jeff, she can't stop thinking about Avery. So he lets her know he was interested and wants to know what turned her off. She tells him she felt the pace was moving too fast and she wanted to make sure that, basically he was
He was,
sincere.
yeah.
Right. So she tells him that she would love to go out again and but they would like to, she would like to move a little bit slower. And so Avery and Suzanne have been seeing each other for 2 months now. He says that he likes everything about her. He loves her laugh and the fact she knows college football better than most females he knows. And they both agree that they're in a great place and they're both open to marriage somewhere down the line. And I said, well, kudos. Guess she got over that younger child thing. So we see Suzanne found her way. Now Lori gets a call from Felton. Okay. And he says that he wants to take her out. He said, "Can I take you out tonight?" He wants to take her out since he missed her
He
birthday.
wanted to be on camera.
And he said, "I even pick you up." All right. So she's still unsure where things are headed, or if they're just gonna be good friends. So he takes Lori out and she mentioned she was going to wear something sexy. And I noticed the way he just kind of ignored her, like brushed off her comment, like that didn't mean nothing to him.
Exactly.
So Lori says she plans to be vulnerable with Felton. And so I'm not gonna lie to you, this is where I feel like she doesn't read a room because once he would have had that reaction, or I would have noticed his facial, or like just no reaction to what I said, I'm definitely not being vulnerable with you.
I
But
think she needed to hear it.
so she asks if he's looking to get married again. He says eventually he will because he wants to grow old with someone. So Lori shares that she's learning how to navigate dating and says she's choosy about who she's into. She asks him what he likes about her. He tells her he feels sometimes God puts people in your life to open you up on certain issues that you have. So Lori feels like he's deflecting. She tells him he must be interested because he flew all the way out to Atlanta, and she lets him know she felt the way that he missed her birthday and wants to know what's up. And he says she's cool, but um does think that she has a block up. He tells her she expresses her feelings and it's not always a good time to do so. And so he says that he doesn't see her romantically. And when he hits her up, it's because she got something going on. He said he's cool being friends. And she says that she's a pumpkin latte. Um, and she don't plan to be on the market very long. Okay. She's a limited time supply. And then Pam and Dwight decided that they aren't each other's type, but they've developed a friendship and partnership hosting ladies' night stores. And so Pam says that she's not as pessimistic as she used to be about dating at 70. Kudos to her. And then I think we see Greg. He didn't end up with nobody. Um, but I think that his son said that he has a little bit more confidence. But yeah, that was pretty much the show, y'all.
Mhm.
I'm proud of the people that grew and did what they did. I'm also happy for Anise, um, as well as Suzanne.
And yeah.
But yeah.
Mhm.
And I like it because they were so different opposite ends of the spectrum as far as dating goes. So to
Mhm.
see them both end up like again, maybe Greg, maybe Pam, Nate definitely need to work on himself, but maybe they still got a little bit more work to do, even in a big age. But y'all let us know what y'all thought about this series. Again, produced by Michelle Obama. Shout out to her. And yeah, and let us know what you think. Would you be here for season 2? Again, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I hope dating is hopefully not that hard at 50, 60 years old. But shit, it's hard now. So anyway, yeah, if you haven't already, y'all, please make sure that y'all hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment
Make sure that you guys subscribe
and hit the notification bell.
and make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Blue Sky, the IG, and the Facebook. Yeah, y'all, we will catch you. Well, we won't catch you for this because it's over. But yeah, catch one of our other recaps: the Love During Lockup, the Love and Marriage Huntsville Live. But keep staying to know.